What's up, guys? Welcome to the Tailgate. On this episode, we'll be talking Week 10 football and grilling some steaks. What's up, guys? If this is your first time tuning into the Tailgate, my name is Armando. I've been in the fantasy sports industry for several years now. You can find my work at footballdiehards.com. I'm the host of the Chalk Talk podcast, and I also run the 1 Week Season Twitter handle. We created the show to combine three of my passions: sports, grilling, and craft beer. Each week, I'll be grilling a new recipe and naming my MVP, most valuable beer. This week's MVP is Coppertail's Unholy. Cheers. Here's the lock of the week. The Redskins faced the Bucks in Tampa Bay and are actually getting 3 points on the road here. They are a far superior team than the Bucks. They play better defense, they have a good offense, and the Bucks defense has just been atrocious all season. This is a situation where it seems weird that Washington is actually getting points in this matchup, but they are. So I'm going to go ahead and take them. They're 2-1 against the spread on the road, over 500 against the spread on the season. Done good in situations like this. I expect them to win outright, but if I'm getting points, I like them even more. Let's head on over to the bargain bin. The first beer I want to talk about is Duke Johnson, 4,700 against the Atlanta Falcons. Last week I talked about him as well. He had a really good game, caught 9 passes for 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. He should be in for another good game here against the Falcons defense that struggles immensely against pass catching backs. In fact, they've allowed the most receptions, the most receiving yards, and are giving up the most fantasy points per game to the position. Duke Johnson might not have another 29.8 fantasy point game like he did last week, but he can very well have a very, very strong game and a strong performance at a very cheap price. One of my favorite plays this week. I think he might be a little bit popular, but I'm okay with that. His role is now solidified with this new coaching staff. He's going to see more passes, he's going to be more involved, and this is a team that loves to give the short pass up. Go ahead, roster him with confidence, do not hesitate. The next guy I want to talk about, Dion Lewis at 4,600 against the New England Patriots. This is a really good matchup for him because the New England linebackers are very slow, so they're not going to be able to keep up with him. In fact, they've allowed the 6th most receptions, 7th most receiving yards, and are tied for 3rd most receiving touchdowns to opposing backs. Lewis has been much more involved in the offense in his last 2 games, with at least 19 touches in each of those games, totaling over 100 yards in each of those games, and scoring over 20 DraftKings points per game in each of those games. This week, this is another good game environment for him because the Tennessee Titans are likely going to be chasing points here. I really like him in this spot, and if you're someone that believes in narratives, well, guess what? This is his former team, so there's a revenge narrative here. I don't believe in it, but there are those that do. So if you do, go ahead and roster him. The last guy I want to talk about is Marquez Valdes-Scantling. He's going to move into the number 2 wide receiver role for the Packers with Geronimo Addison's sideline. The matchup against the Dolphins is not one that favors him that much, but his one-on-one matchup is a good one, as he has a 9% advantage rating according to Pro Football Focus. Over his last 4 games, Valdes-Scantling has scored at least 12 DraftKings points per game. He has over 100 receiving yards in 2 of those games and has scored 2 touchdowns. In addition, in that time span, he has 28 targets after only seeing 5 targets in the first 4 games of the season. This is a good spot for him at a very reasonable price, so go ahead and roster him with no hesitations this week.
It's Chalk time.
Tyler Boyd at 7,500 against the Saints is going to be very popular this weekend, and rightfully so. Look, the Saints are just awful against the pass. He has a great one-on-one matchup against PJ Williams, who ranks out as one of the worst corners in the league, especially this week. In addition to that, there's no AJ Green. Although he hasn't been officially ruled out, he's expected to miss the next 2 games for the Bengals. We've seen Boyd score over 25 DraftKings points multiple times this season, and now he's going to for sure get guaranteed the volume. I think his price is a little high, but I'm willing to pay for it, and this is chalk I'm willing to eat. Mike Davis at 4,300 against the Rams is appearing to be somewhat popular this week, and I don't like it. Look, Yes, he's coming off a good game. He caught 7 passes out of the backfield, but prior to that, he only had 10 catches all season. This is not a guy that's strong in the passing game, and I don't think this is going to be a pleasant game environment for him. Even if Chris Carson misses this game, I think Mike Davis still has to share the ball with Rashad Penny here. At 4,300, I'm not willing to take that ownership, and there's a high chance that he fails in this spot. Therefore, this is chalk. I am going to fade. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe below, tell a friend, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Good luck to everyone this weekend, and I will see you next week. Delectable.